All right, you guys, welcome. Welcome to the Show Up Zoom, where we talk about our wins of the week. This is just a fun time. Do you guys realize, I feel like when I focus on my wins, it's such a quick shift from feeling like I'm barely making progress to just taking the time to actually think about them and recognize them. I'm always further along than I thought I am. So congrats to you guys for showing up tonight to talk about this. So I'm going to share just a little thought as we get started here, and then I'm going to open it up. So I want everybody to be thinking about when they can share. Just something small. It can be big, it can be small, it can be anything. We just want to hear from you. And we might have enough time for everybody to share. So be thinking about a win for you. Okay, so something I want you guys to be thinking about is I want to talk about breath work and mindfulness breathing. So this past weekend, I did something super crazy, super out of the norm for me. I went on a cold water plunge. Okay, you guys, I am the type of person who will not even go to a restaurant without my jacket. That's how uncharacteristic this particular thing that I chose to do was. My brothers have done this before and they invited me to come along, and I really don't know what happened. I just said yes before I even thought about it. I went to a leadership conference, and the person that was presenting had talked about how he really enjoyed these cold water plunges and how there's lots of benefits, health benefits to them. And so I was super curious, I got to try it for myself. Before I totally discount this, I'm in for the cold water plunge. So you guys, we hike up a mile up into the mountains. If you know, Mount Timpanogos, the trailhead going up there, we hiked a mile, we got up there, and there's this waterfall with this small pool area. And it was 40 degrees, you guys. Put in the chat if you have been in 40-degree water before. I want to know. So we decided to hop in, and my brother was the one that was really coaching us on this. So I get in, and the first thing I do every time, I'm a screamer. Anytime I go on a roller coaster or something scares me, I can't control it. I even told myself before that I wasn't going to scream. Well, sure enough, I just start screaming because of the coldness, right? And my brother immediately said, "Stop, breathe, breathe, breathe." And he's coaching me on how to push through this discomfort. He said he had prepared me in advance. He says it's 60 seconds of pure hell. And then it comes, the numbness comes, and you're going to experience this really cool sensation. And so you guys, 60 seconds came, and I was not quite done screaming. I was not quite done being anxious. And he finally grabbed me. He said, "You've got to breathe. You've got to be calm," because I said, "This hurts so bad. There's needles in my legs." We only actually went waist deep. But because there wasn't quite enough room, it wasn't quite deep enough to go all the way in. But so needles in my legs. Finally, once I just calmed down, and once I truly started to relax, I had to relax, and I had to start deep breathing. It was like clockwork, you guys. All of a sudden, it just let up. The pain let up. And it was the coolest sensation to feel like it actually didn't hurt me more. That I stopped resisting that. And it took me 2 minutes. So it only usually takes 1 minute to get used to the cold water, but it took me 2 minutes because I was pretty stubborn. But once I did, it was the coolest experience. I really found that breathing, how important that breathing is, and those techniques. And I left that experience this weekend thinking, I want to practice more of that breathing. Maybe I'm not going to do a cold water plunge every single week, but at least I want to practice that breathing even more. And it reminded me how much we talk about breath work in this community, in our health community, and how important that is. So I really want to talk a little bit about this today, how it relates to health, and maybe in some specific situations you may be experiencing in your life. Okay, so I'm going to bring up a few that you may have experienced before. Have you been a creature of mindless eating? Have you experienced that before where you just really, yeah, raise your hand. I want to see. Yep. Mindless eating. Okay. That's one thing that this program has helped me so much with. It's just being so much more mindful, but it's just there. You just put it in your mouth. It's a reactive thing where you just don't even think about it. Sometimes you're just putting it into your mouth. Okay. So maybe you're just more of a mindless eater, or perhaps maybe you're an emotional eater. I think all of us have been an emotional eater before. We have practiced that many, many times, right? And with this, you may be trying to cover up sadness. You may be experiencing something and you're trying to cover that up. Maybe you're trying to numb your anxiety or your overwhelm, or maybe cure your boredom. But your brain is looking for a solution immediately, and it becomes reactive. Okay, I want to point out that your brain is just doing its job. Your brain wants you to be comfortable. And these two situations you maybe experienced with your health, I want to teach you something, a tool that you can use in the moment to utilize to help you. It's called a shift move. And the shift move is a breathing shift move. Okay. In both of these situations, what we need to do is we want to bring you back into presence and to change your body and your blood chemistry in this moment. Okay. Your body is giving you these chemicals just automatically because it actually thinks that it may be life or death. Have you experienced that where you see something you want and literally you think you're going to die if you don't eat the chocolate? This is embarrassing to admit, but I have experienced this. It really feels like you're going to die because your brain is shooting off those chemicals so fiercely that it really does. Sometimes it is like that feeling. So again, we're going to practice some breathing shift moves. This is one that Jim Dethmer from the Conscious Leadership, who came to speak at our leadership conference, shared with us. I'm going to share one, but if you're interested in any more of these, go Google. You will find many, many, many more. This particular one that I've been practicing is called the straw breath. Okay, the straw breath. So basically, I want you to get in a comfortable position. And if you're driving, please don't do this because you can get lightheaded and we don't want that, but practice it later. Okay, so straw breath. So what you're going to do, let me explain it first and then we're going to practice this together. You are going to breathe deeply from your belly. Okay, you're going to expand your belly into your chest and into your shoulders. You're going to bring the breath all the way up and then you're going to get to the top and hold for a second. And then you're going to act like you have a straw in your mouth and you're going to push out your breath. Okay, so let's practice. You're going to go in for 4 and out for 4. We're going to do this 4 times. Okay, ready? In for 1, 2, 3, 4, and out. 3, 4. In, 2, 3, 4, out. 2, 3, 4. In, 2, 3, 4, out. 2, 3, 4. I think that was 4, unless I lost count. Okay. So you guys, when you do this again, this is a shift move. You're changing your body and your blood chemistry. You're shifting it in the moment. So you're shifting out of reactive and into present in this moment. And so what that does, you may have studied in the Habits of Health book already about stop, challenge, and choose. This is stop, challenge, and choose at its finest right here, where you can stop, take the breaths, and then really think about what this decision is that is in front of you. And then you get to choose. This is the key here, you guys. I only want you to eat the chocolate, or you insert whatever the temptation is, only after you have done your breaths. Okay, after you've shifted into presence, if that's what you choose. The key is if you're going to make a choice, make sure you're in present first. Okay. And this goes for now, maybe while you're, we have different phases in the Optavia programs, right? We have weight loss phases, we have transition phases, we have maintenance optimization phases. Whatever phase you're in, did you know you can eat whatever you want? Have you really given yourself you can have whatever you want. You are not limited. Even if you're on the 5-in-1, you absolutely can have that chocolate. However, what this does, the shift move, allows you to truly decide what you really want, not just what your body wants or what your brain wants sometimes when it's reactive mode, but it shifts you into this present mode and helps you decide truly what you want. So that's why I say, after you've done your breathing, then decide what you want. And if you are going to eat something that maybe is off your plan or unhealthy or maybe not the best choice, do it in presence. Do it with a specific decision and intentionally. And it will feel so much better than just a reactive mode. Okay. All right. Thank you for breathing with me, practicing the breath work. I challenge you this week to just practice that more and to experience that shifting into presence. All right, we're gonna now let's go on to our wins of the week. So I want you guys to come up. Maybe you guys have been thinking of while I've been talking. I want you to come off mute, and I'm just gonna do popcorn style. I'm gonna mute myself so that you guys can talk. I want you to raise your hand if you would like to share a quick win of the week. Maybe keep it to like 30 seconds to a minute so we can get lots of you sharing. I'm actually going to start. I know Susan offered to share. I know she's on here. Let's start with you, Susan.
Okay. Oh, I don't look great. No makeup and everything, and you always look fantastic, Shantelle. That I had this week out for every day what we would be having for dinner, because I had been relying on just salads and things that I was getting bored of. And by planning it out, I actually stuck to that and wasn't more tempted to go out and pick something up on the way home that might be okay, but it might not. It might have a little too much sugar or something like that.
Awesome, Susan. Thanks so much for sharing.
Sure.
All right, who's next? Oh, I think I asked Holly, did you want to share?
Sure, I'll share. So this is my second month on plan, and my win of the week is that I got on the scale this morning and I'm down 12 pounds. But that's not the win. That's awesome. But I told Shantelle my goal in starting this wasn't about weight. So that's just icing on the cake. For me, the win of the week was I had my third child turned 13 on Friday, and I now have 3 teenagers in the house. We threw a birthday party for him. You know how birthday weekends get. There's lots of treats. There's lots of commotion and chaos. And I did so good. Just enjoying the moment and I actually had a conversation with one of my sons that the holidays and birthdays and special occasions, our culture loves to make them about the food and the gathering. And I've realized, I had this shift in my brain. For me, I love those things because of who I'm with and the conversations and the people who are there. I don't have vivid memories of that one bite I had of that one thing or whatever. And so I won't have vivid memories of missing out on not having that one caramel apple or whatever, or that birthday cake. But last night it was the last piece of cake, and he came to me and he's like, "Mom, this is the last piece of cake and you made it for me and I want you to enjoy it." And so I said, okay. And so I had a bite and I was happy with that and it felt great. So that was my win of the week.
That's huge, Holly. Oh, that's wonderful. And I love how you've made that shift of enjoying. You don't need that food. It's not going to make it any more fun with the food. That's so great. Good. Okay, Sherilyn, go ahead. Oh, let's get you off mute though.
Okay, there we go. Are you hearing me now?
Yes, we can hear you. Go ahead.
Okay, well, what I guess you may be sick of hearing about that 1 tablespoon of pulled pork, but to me, it was really instructional because a group of us get together once a month and we do a potluck dinner. And I knew that we were having pulled pork and I really, really wanted it. And I considered taking my own meat, but I took the salad, which was totally on plan. And I had a chat with myself about the pulled pork and said, do you really want this? And I decided, and as much as anything, it was because it was social. It was because I wanted to experience what everyone else was experiencing. So I decided yes. But I decided I didn't have to have a full serving. I didn't have to put tons of it on my plate. I would just put between a teaspoon and a tablespoon on my plate because a taste was good enough. And as I look forward to the holidays, I'm not a potatoes and gravy kind of person. I'm not really into those starchy kinds of things. And I'm thinking when it comes to eating in a group, I can do a tablespoon or that small of an amount, which won't make a big difference. But I also learned I'm in charge of my body. And so it was a mindful decision to be similar to everyone else, but different from everyone else. And I lost 9 pounds the first week. So I'm just starting my 4th week on plan. The first week I lost 9 pounds. Last week I lost 0 pounds. And this week I've lost 2. So I've lost 11 total. So I'm feeling good.
Oh, so happy for you, Sherilyn. Yes, of course, you're feeling good. You're making so many amazing shifts and changes. And did you guys hear that? Her stop, challenge, and choose moment? That was magical when she said, what do I really want? And how all that thought worked. Like she could have just eaten the pulled pork, right? But she's like, stopped herself and like, what do I really want? Yeah, Sherilyn, what were you, do you have your hand raised?
The other thing is that I told myself my goal isn't just to lose weight. My goal in doing this plan is to be able to do things in moderation. And the easiest thing to not do in moderation is eat. And so by learning to control my eating habits, I'll be able to take that as a learning experience to look at other areas of my life where maybe I'm not always in control.
Wow. Yes. Yes. Do you guys feel that? Like how it really does. It spills out into other areas of your life. The things that you're learning right now with food, it's not just limited to food. It's so much more than that. Beautiful. Who else?
Can you hear me?
Yes, Georgia, go ahead.
Okay. Well, I have been 2 weeks Happy Meal free. Once a week, I'll get one Happy Meal, one every, once a week. It's the Happy Meal for me. And I'm thinking it's so tiny. It shouldn't do anything, that drastic to me. But it's been hard. But today I went and got some sushi instead. So I don't know. I think it's better because there's no bread in it. So for now, I'll take that.
I think we can all relate. We all have our happy meals, so to speak, that, are those temptations, and making a mindful decision and committing. Love that. All right. Who else?
Okay. Can you hear me? All right. Kind of two wins. We went to Salt Lake Thursday, Friday, Saturday to a Book of Mormon Evidences Expo. I made sure I had my fuelings, and then when we went to lunch, it was lean and green. So I stayed on plan the whole time, and I am so grateful for the fuelings. It makes it so easy to stay on plan. And so this morning, when I got up and weighed myself and found I was halfway to my goal, I was big cheer. And yeah. And I measured myself, and I've lost a total of 23 inches, and 17 of those inches are right here, that because my body type is where I store it all around my middle. So it went down, it's gone down fast. And I'm so grateful, because that was always such an unhappy experience to walk by the mirror sideways and see all that bulk. So that was mine. Thank you.
Thank you for sharing, Barbara. We're celebrating you and just cheering you on. Awesome progress. Love it. Okay, who else? Keep them coming.
I can share. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Last week I took care of my grandkids up north, and you know how it is feeding kids kid food. But I took my fuelings, and then once a day I cooked a meal that was very healthy with lean and green. And then I would add something for them, either a starch, a potato, a half of garlic toast or whatever. And so I was able to keep my weight just steady. I'm kind of hit my goal, but I'm now wanting to go down 5 more pounds just so that it can have that push. So that's the trick, trying to adjust to how you add fuelings that are regular food, but keep fuelings for when you travel. I'm still trying to learn how to do that.
I love that. Great question. Great question to talk to your coach about. And they're going to walk you through that process. And even, I think that goes for all of us, like, especially as the holidays are coming up and as we're in different situations, traveling or not in our normal routine, the thing we're off school or off work, right? It's like making sure it is an adjustment in those different situations, but it's completely doable. And this program and these habits of health that we're learning are applicable in all different situations. So I love that you brought that question up for you to talk to your coach about that. So thank you for sharing that. Awesome job, Allison. Congratulations. Donna, did you have something to share?
Yeah, I'm kind of shy. That's why I don't get on here much. But I mean, not normally. I just don't know you guys. But yeah, Michelle's my coach. She's been amazing. I was on the program a few years back well, a couple years back, I got down to my goal weight. I was like 206, got down to 175, 174. And then I don't know, my husband came home to me. I was recently married, and there's been a lot of anxiety and stress with my kids and relationships and stuff. So I started binge eating, which I know better, and I gained all my weight back. I went up to 204. And so recently, through watching your meetings and everything, and my coach, and just being part of the community, I got the strength back to go back on, plan. But I didn't have all the feelings. I still had some. So I've been doing it on my own, like a 3 and 3, but little meals and one big meal, and then the feelings. And I've lost 4 pounds in 5 days. So today I didn't lose a pound, so that's why I say, but today I stayed the same. So I'm down to 200, and I just got my box my husband brought in, so I can't wait to get back on track. I'm just very excited to do the 5 and 1, and I love you guys. You guys are amazing.
And now you're friends with all of us, even though you didn't know anyone. Way to come to the community and just share with us your wins, because we really are. We're cheering you on, and congratulations. I think that's a great example of doing. There's so many different plans. There's so many different ways to do this program. It's about the habits of health. And, all the things that you guys have shared tonight, we're having different experiences, different circumstances, but we're all practicing the same things, right? It's mindfulness. It's the habits of health. So you guys, I hope that you guys have an amazing week. And just a reminder, practice that straw breath, that straw breathing practice, or any kind of breathing that you want to bring you out of that reactive mode into that present mode, and see what that does. Okay, good luck, you guys. We'll see you next week.